Maria del Carmen Santiago is wishing you a blessed December.
Shocking truth. Why homes are turning into battlegrounds of chaos and heartbreak this holiday season. Hey everyone, it's that time of year again when we're supposed to gather around the table, share stories, laugh, and feel that warm sense of togetherness. But let's be real for a second, things never go as planned, do they? Especially not in a home full of chaos. It's like living with an egg that's getting battered over and over. The whole place shakes, people stumble, collapse under the pressure, and sometimes it feels like everything just gets fried in the end. And right now, with everything going on in the world, so many families are feeling that exact way. If only we knew how important family really is before the cracks start showing up big time. I've been thinking a lot about this lately, especially around Christmas, when we're bombarded with images of perfect families hugging it out under the tree. But the reality for a ton of households across the country is way different. Political divides have snuck into our living rooms, dinner tables, and even holiday chats, turning what should be safe spaces into places full of tension and arguments. It's not just about who you vote for anymore. It's ripping apart relationships that used to be rock solid. Take all the stories coming out these days. There are parents and kids who haven't spoken in years because one side sees the world one way and the other can't even fathom it. Siblings cutting ties over stuff said during election season. Grandparents and grandkids drifting apart because conversations turn heated too fast. Research shows this isn't just a few isolated cases, it's widespread. Polls from places like Pew Research indicate that a huge chunk of Americans feel exhausted just thinking about politics, and that exhaustion spills over into family life. People report shorter holiday gatherings if family members lean different ways politically. Thanksgiving dinners cut short by 20 to 40 minutes on average when there's a mix of views. That's not just awkward silence, that's real pain building up, and it's gotten worse over the years. Back in the day, families might disagree on things, but they could still sit down and talk it out without it feeling like the end of the world. Now, with social media feeding us constant outrage and news channels echoing whatever side we're on, it's like we're living in completely different realities. One person hears one set of facts, another hears the opposite, and suddenly there's no common ground left. Studies point out that we're not as ideologically far apart as we think, but the emotional side, the dislike and distrust, has skyrocketed. People view the other side not just as wrong, but as immoral or even dangerous. That kind of thinking doesn't stay in the voting booth, it follows us home. Look at the numbers. More and more marriages and parent-child relationships are aligning politically, meaning families are becoming echo chambers. If everyone's nodding along to the same views, it reinforces them harder, and when someone steps outside that bubble, even a close relative, it feels like betrayal. But on the flip side, when divides do happen, they're brutal. There are accounts of adult children going no contact because the constant conflict became too much. Parents grieving the loss of relationships with their kids over differing opinions. It's heartbreaking to read about families where one member's strong beliefs lead to everyone else feeling pushed away or judged. The media plays a big role too. Constant exposure to polarizing content amps up the fear and anger. Algorithms show us more of what we already believe, making the other side seem extreme and unrelatable. Developmental stuff from childhood carries over how we were raised. What we saw in our parents affects how we handle these differences as adults. And when politics ties into personal identity, like morals or values, disagreements hit deeper than just policy talk. But here's the thing that hits hardest. All this chaos in homes mirrors that battered egg feeling. The shaking comes from outside forces, news cycles, social feeds, heated online debates, but it lands right in our families. People fall when trust breaks. They collapse under the weight of unspoken resentments. And too often, relationships get fried beyond repair. Holidays amplify it because we're forced into close quarters, expected to pretend everything's fine when it's not. I've seen reports of families where one relative's views make others feel unsafe or disrespected. Things like racism, transphobia, or just outright hostility towards certain groups come up, and suddenly it's not abstract politics anymore, it's personal. One side feels like their humanity is being questioned, the other feels attacked for their opinions. No one wins, and kids in the middle. They grow up seeing division as normal, carrying that forward. Experts talk about affective polarization. That's the fancy term for basically not liking or trusting people from the other side. It's stronger now than ever, and it's seeping into everyday life. Friendships end. Workplaces get tense. But families, that's where it hurts the most because those bonds are supposed to be unconditional. Yet, amid all this, there are glimmers of hope in the research. Things like open communication styles, really considering the other person's perspective, and self-reflection can help bridge gaps. Some families set ground rules for holidays, no politics at the table. Others focus on shared values beyond partisanship, like love for each other or common experiences. It's not easy, but it's possible to prioritize relationships over being right. Because at the end of the day, family is irreplaceable. We only get one shot at these connections. Losing them over stuff that's often amplified by outside noise feels like such a waste. If only we paused more to remember how fragile it all is. How important it is to protect those ties before the chaos takes over completely. This holiday season, with all the stress and divides, it's a reminder to hold on tighter to what matters. Reach out if you can. Listen more than you speak. Find the humanity in each other. Because homes shouldn't feel like battlegrounds. They should be the one place where we can breathe easy, even when the world outside is shaking everything up. My videos are audio, which is something you can freely listen to without missing an episode while you clean, do dishes, or relax. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Follow so we can stay connected. Your support matters more than you know, and I appreciate every moment you give to listen. Your support is important to me, and it helps me a lot. Feel free to like, support, and subscribe. Crowning Thoughts True Speaker Copyright 2025 by Santiago D.C. Maria, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution. I love you all and stay blessed. Thank you for listening. Love always. Santiago D.C. Maria.
Maria.